What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 281 of the Aussie Gamers Experience podcast. In the show this week, more Death Stranding. The call is still strong. The Jedis do protect us. The Game Awards nominees and the blowout that's happened after that. Sega statues, Need for Studio. Stadia has started with a meh. And much, much more. Editing Lucas, let's get gone.
This is the Aussie Gamers Experience podcast, the show with barking dogs in the background, sneezing, coughing, and all of those nice little things that remind you that this is not a paid production. Oh, and in between all of that, there's some video game stuff too. Enjoy the show.
Thank you for tuning into the show for this week. Today is Monday, the 25th of November, 2019. I'm your host, Snoogs, and back joining me this week for hosting duties is the one and only Grejio. How are you, mate?
I'm not going to lie, I'm very tired.
Very tired? Oh, is the little puppy still keeping you up?
Well, yeah, the puppy is, yep, let's keep it at that. I love her, but she's a shit.
I love her, but I want to kick her.
Yeah, it's kind of that way.
I said it to Snoogs last night, man. Kick it outside, close the door. They're animals, mate. They will survive.
Oh, look, no, it's outside right now. So, yeah, no, it's done its dash on that front.
Good. Good.
It's outside now. So, yeah, there's that. And look, she's a puppy. That's it's just the joys of having a puppy. And then on top of that, we're packing, lots of packing. I cleaned out my garage last week. I took the week off to look after the dog and clean out my garage. I'm not sure which job was bigger, but I did fill a 2x2 meter cubic skip bin full of garbage that left today.
I do that every few years. I'll get a skip bin and fill the bastard, and I think, where was all that stuff?
No, I actually, when I started digging through, I did not realize how many car magazines, gaming magazines, so many fucking magazines. It was just insane.
Any pornos?
No. No. Let's just say no, there wasn't. There was probably some scantily clad women in some of the car and bike magazines I had. That's probably as close as
I'm with Martikins. I reckon that means yes, there was.
Yeah.
If you reckon. I could have also just said that just for entertainment value.
We're stuck to the floor.
Yeah, I had to use the paint scraper to get them off.
Oh, jeez.
I pretty much threw out the shelves that one set was in. I just broke the shelves up, and it was easier to break the shelves up and throw them in the skip.
Well, that's a record. The show's gone to shit at its quickest.
At its quickest. I'm blaming Radicus. But yeah, and I put up the pictures on Discord the other day of the archaeological finds in gaming history. So all my walkthrough tutorials and stuff like that, all those games, I found printed out pages of cheat codes like you wouldn't believe.
Enjoyed scrolling through all of your sideways photos that you posted in the Discord.
I knew you'd like that.
Oh, mate. Jeez. That was killing me, because I'm like, I want to see this, and I'll turn my phone and my phone would rotate. I'm like, God!
It's a trap. I'm sorry, bud. I'm very sorry.
You're forgiven this time.
You're lucky he didn't call you and say, excuse me, go and retake all those photos.
Yeah, go and crop, rotate, and repost those, please.
Yeah.
There was a part of me inside that then was like, I really should make a video of these in portrait. Just to top it all off.
I'd have just deleted it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Awesome. And as you would have heard as well, joining us this week again is Lucas. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, man. Thank you very much. I'm doing quite well. I'm slowly roasting in this small office of mine, but hell, it's for the love of the podcast.
All right, well, let's get stuck into the show. We started off with a bit of This Week in Gaming. Now, before we got started, I had some suggestions for this week. So a suggestion from Radicus was that this week in 1995, the PS1 was launched. That was, last week. I think it was the end of last week was the anniversary for that one. Also, Martikins has got that the Dreamcast was released in 98. You know, I don't think I actually played the Dreamcast ever.
Well, I only just recently did because the Dreamcast just sort of slipped past me as well, which is probably essentially why it was the downfall of Sega. But I never owned one, but a friend of mine did, and he lent it to me for the sake of making a YouTube video, which I did. I made a video on it and played a few of the games on it. But other than that, no, I hadn't. And this was only...
It was only relatively recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was probably just last year when I did that. And other than that, I'd never played one.
I must be the only one that actually played one when it was in the height of its glory, if you could call it that.
Well, whatever it had.
5 minutes, the 5 minutes of fame it had.
Another one Martikin gave us is the Gran Turismo 2, released in 1999. But I've skipped all over them because I've gone for one that had a bit of, I suppose, a bit of a fond memory for myself. And the memory wasn't for the game itself, but for the soundtrack. Now, the game was released in 2005. It is by EA, and the game was Need for Speed Most Wanted. Now, do you guys remember the soundtrack at all?
No.
The soundtrack, it kind of gave me my first experience into a lot of bands that I really do enjoy still listening to this day. So one of them was a bit more of an open area for Disturbed, the band.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bullet for My Valentine was on there. Mastodon was on there. Static X. That was probably the first time I'd actually heard Static X on a game or anything like that. And it was just one of those things. So it had a lot of hip hop on it, and rap and a bit of techno and whatnot as well. But the dedicated rock channel that it had just had song after song after song that were all awesome, and it just sort of opened up this other side, I suppose, that I hadn't known a lot about these different bands.
What was the Static X song? Was it The One?
I think it was The One.
Yeah, I remember.
It's The One or The Only?
The hell was that song? I don't know that song. Well, rest in peace, Wayne Static.
There was also Bullet for My Valentine, Avenged Sevenfold. Shaggy was on there. Yeah, that's probably the main ones. Mastodon, of course, they're a bit different and unique. Prodigy was on there. And Jamiroquai. So there was a good release of a lot of different versions, a lot of different genres, I should say, of music. But some of that heavy metal music is just what stuck with me. And playing that game, it was like, oh, what's this song called? Because it would come up in the corner what it was, and then jump on Google, go and have a look at it, go on YouTube or whatever it was. Yes. Yeah, it should have been YouTube back then still.
It was the only. It was the only. Yeah, and it goes like this. I'm winning, you're losing, I'm falling, your agony lower than lower before, your forgotten memory heaven.
Radicus in the chat says wasn't as good as the Tony Hawk 1 soundtrack.
Oh, no,
that was a very good soundtrack. Very good soundtrack.
All right, boys, let's jump into some game talk, shall we?
Sure.
All right. Well, before we get into that, I'm going to say a quick g'day to Kazakal, Martikins, and Radicus who have joined in live. Don't forget, if you're listening to this, you can listen live. You just have to head over to our Discord channel. And what is it? I came here to party.
I came here to party. Yeah,
that's the way. And jump in and say g'day. All right.
Now, for everybody in the live chat listening now, I'm going to seductively breathe into the microphone. That was for you guys.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Did you just pass out? Are you right? You good?
No. I think I need to go and have a shower.
Oh dear, righto. Moving on. Let's go.
That was very seductively right there. Greg, window shopping, bro. What do you got?
All right. So I have what I would believe is probably going to be one of the most annoying games that I could possibly find. So, do you guys remember Nine Cat?
Nope.
Oh, wow. So you have no idea about the cat that had the body of a Pop-Tart and rode a rainbow through space. It had a song. What? is one of those very what's the word I'm looking for?
Stupid? Is stupid the word you're looking for?
It was on YouTube.
Greg. The 70s called, they want their drugs back.
No. So it was an annoying YouTube video, right? You know how they used to come out with these little repeat, they make a song and then just repeat and it would go forever and ever and ever. There was like a whole period of time where that was a thing.
Like the Crazy Frog.
Kind of like the Crazy Frog, right? And it's called the Nine Cat. Nine Cat. So I'm about to play it. So this is the song.
Nine Cat.
Yep. Nyan Cat. There's a whole bunch of people that listen to us going, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that cat.
Yeah, see, Mudikins is saying, please no.
I still don't. No.
All right, well,
there's a dubstep remix.
Oh, there's a bunch of...
Hang on, Pat. He's about to play it. Let's see if this actually happens.
So... You get the idea. It just goes on and on.
I've never heard that before, and yes, rest in peace anyone who was wearing headphones just then.
Yeah. So it's kind of a bit of a, as much as you guys haven't really heard of it, it is a bit of a pop culture phenomenon. Like there are people that have like painted their cars with the Nine Cat theme. There's like a Lamborghini that has the Nine Cat theme painted on it. There's like a whole bunch of things that have happened in that because apparently Nine Cat was the most amazing thing that happened at the time in that 5 minutes. Anyway, there's a game that's come out based on Nine Cat. It's called Nine Cat Lost in Space. Now, it's a mobile game, but it's coming out this week on Switch for the princely sum of $9. And you can play Nine Cat Lost in Space. Essentially, it's a side-scrolling platformer, and the idea is you take control of the Nine Cat, and you jump from platform to platform, collecting all the foods and avoiding all the obstacles. And the idea is just to see how far you can go before you die, and then start again and try and beat your score. On the way, you'll meet like an evil Nine Cat, which has a waffle body, and when you come close to him, he plays like a heavy metal version of that song. And then there's also little bonuses you can pick up, which will remaster the song. Like there's a stoner version of it, there's a dubstep version of it, there's a whole bunch of things, and you can play it. But essentially, it's a very basic, very straightforward game. If you like the Nine Cat song, because it plays in the background constantly, turn down the music and play, or just
so this is just releasing on the Switch now, is it?
Yeah, this week.
Okay, because it was a browser game, so you know one of those games you play in your browser? Yeah, 8 years ago.
Yes.
So, good. Let it die, people. Just let it die.
Wow.
That's the thing about Nine Cat, it lives on.
I'm so disappointed in my Switch, I'm going to step on it now. The only 5 minutes of Fame game that I ever really enjoyed was Baby Monkey Backwards on a Pig. Did you know that one? Did you hear about that one?
No.
I only know about that one because of you.
Because it was I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but yeah, I don't actually think you can download that game anymore. And I even paid to get rid of the ads, and it's gone now. Baby monkey, backwards on a pig, baby monkey. And the game was you're on the back of a pig, and you were a monkey, and you double jump to jump over stuff, and you're collecting coins and stuff. But anyway, it's a thing. Better than this Nine Cat rubbish. But anyway, both shit in their own right.
Both terrible. Well. All right, well, let's jump into the main stuff. Lucas, tell us about your review that you've got up this week for Death Stranding.
Yes, well, I finally finished Death Stranding, and I think I've put together one of the most reasonable reviews that I've actually seen myself on the internet. And as I do mention in the review, it's a very split pot of what people think of Death Stranding, so it's really hard to sort of pick. It's a very hard game to recommend to people because there's reviews out there that say it's horrible. There's reviews out there that say it's like the most amazing thing in the world. It's a very hard game to recommend to just anybody. There's a particular person that will absolutely love this game, And there are particular people that will hate it. Who? I don't know. People with time on their hands. People that
That's exactly right. I cannot talk this game up enough, but on the same hand, I don't know who I can recommend it to.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. It's a very slow burn, but the burn in the end is very, very worth it. It's a good story. It does deliver, and it's typical Kojima. So there's a payoff at the end. It's not just like, oh, is that it? God, for Christ's sake, the credits roll 3 fucking times. It just keeps going.
It's going.
I'm not kidding. The credits rolled, and I was like, wow, that's the end. Cool. And then it goes, chapter 15. And I'm like, hey, what? I thought that was chapter 15. I thought that was the end. No, there's more. And then the credits roll again. And I think there's a total of 3 sets of credits. And I'm not saying that it credits like the credits continue. No, the credits roll and finish. And then they roll the exact same credits again after another hour and a half worth of gameplay after you thought the game finished in the first place. Yeah. So it does take a very long time, and it is a slow burn. But do you know what I did the other day? Actually, you do know because I told you. Because you hit me up, said, do you want to play some Call of Duty? And what did I say to you?
Yes, but you were playing some Death Stranding first.
Correct. I've finished the game.
Yes, that was after you were done. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd finished the reviews done and dusted. What reason do I have to play this game other than the fact that I quite enjoy it still? No, I don't give a fuck about the platinum. I haven't even looked at the trophies. I just wanted to play it because I just sat there and would just cruise around doing stuff. I wanted to go and check out. It's a Kojima game. You could go on for a very long time and still see new stuff. And there are still a lot of things to do in the game, a lot of things to unlock, little Easter eggs and things to see. And I was just playing it to see what it would throw at me. And I'm still enjoying the game. Death Stranding might be a game that I keep going back to every now and then to play for a couple of hours. Death Stranding is a bloody good game to some people. Some people will completely write it off and go, nah, too hard.
I was explaining to someone today at work about Death Stranding because they asked, how much COD have you played? And I said, not much. I've been playing Death Stranding more than anything else. And again, they're in the same boat of it looks shit, doesn't make sense, and then trying to explain it to them. And we're talking a bit back and forward about the story without, I wasn't telling them spoilers or anything. But the bloke that I was talking to about it, he just sort of went, it sounds... we refer to it as very Kojima. It's Kojima-esque. But really, when you look at it, it's very anime. It's very Japanese. And it's got those sorts of characters and the way that the characters sort of evolve and interact. It does tie to a lot of different anime shows that I've seen and the way that they evolve their characters. So I think it might just be, a Japanese style of storytelling.
Yeah. Well, Kojima is Japanese.
Well, exactly. Yeah, but it's not just something that's Kojima.
What?
But look, it delivers. But it's. I think if you're the kind of person who is happy to look at it from standing on the outside looking in and say that it's rubbish, you don't play it because you'll never appreciate it. No. But if you're the kind of person that looks at something like this and goes, "Oh, I wonder what that's all about," give it a go, 100%. If you're the kind of person who plays like Fallout but does everything, like all of the side missions, and Skyrim does all the side missions, does everything a completionist, this is your dream. Go and play it. You must play it. Unless you don't have a PS4, then you're screwed.
Now, I do want to talk about where I'm up to in the game.
Sure.
And if for anyone listening along that wants to play it, skip ahead a couple of minutes because it might be slight spoiler territory. Greg, do you particularly care? I don't think this is on your radar. I've just finished chapter 5? No, 5 with Mama.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the chapter, Mama's gives you something to help. So I'll sort of say, let's try and stay a little bit vague, but the weapon to help.
Oh yeah,
the BTs.
To take out the BTs. Yep.
Yeah, to get rid of them. Now, not only that, you then have to throw Mama on your back and carry her across. I actually went up and over the mountainside through the snowy pass, and it's quite a trek. And so doing all that sort of stuff to it, and then the way that chapter finished off. Not only was I saddened by it, I was also agitated because of what I'd just been through. It was this sad moment, and then it had this extra bit that is very hard to explain without spoiling it, but it just had an extra moment where that sadness and anger is kind of filled by a bit of a smile to go with it, how it all sort of finalizes together before the mission sort of finishes or the cutscene finishes. And it's just all within those few minutes to have all that range and, for it to pull on so many different emotion things. I think that's where a lot of it's coming down to, with those people that are really enjoying it. They're really getting invested in the characters. They're really getting invested in the story, more so than just the fact that you're trudging packages across this landscape. Yeah.
But the thing that I couldn't help but thinking when I was going through the game and when I'd put, 30 hours into it, how does anyone, any team come up with this? How do you make a game that is so vast, so detailed, so beautiful, so polished? How long did it take to make this game? Like 5 years? 6 years?
Yeah, 3 or 5 years, something like that. I know we first found out about it 3 years ago.
Yeah, but see, I don't know. Am I wrong in saying, did he start work on Death Stranding when Silent Hills fell through? Or had he already been working on it?
No, he didn't start until he started up his own studio. Because there was and
that was when Silent Hills went under, because the playable teaser PT came out because he was working on Silent Hills with
wasn't that still with Konami?
That's right. But that's when that all fell apart, and then he made his own studio, and then started working on Death Stranding. So he's only worked on this game 4-5 years max. How do you make a game like that in 5 years? And somebody mentioned to me, because I said Death Stranding has the best graphics that I've ever seen in a video game. And somebody came back at me. Actually, I think it was Spaceys. Since Spaceys were having a chat about it. And he said, "Oh, are you like, really? What about Red Dead Redemption 2? I said, "No way. This makes Red Dead Redemption 2 look dated at how good Death Stranding looks." And I just don't understand how you craft such a beautiful world, because take away the graphics of the characters and things, the landscape looks mint. It looks the best I've ever seen. How do you do that? How many people does he have working in Kojima Productions? How do you do that in such a short time? It just, I don't know. It's a marvel.
So, according to Kojima himself, he started recruiting to make this game in December 2015, and the first thing they did after that was started searching for an engine in January 16. So pretty much, if you take it from that point,
yes,
the beginning of 16.
The fact that this game is made in such short time, I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. I'd have expected this to have started development before the bloody PS4 was released, to have this kind of polish in the game. And in saying that, I didn't even encounter any bugs or crashes. What the hell?
No, I've not had anything as yet.
That's the sort of stuff that's really impressed me as well. Is there was no issues with the game, and it just felt polished. But anyway,
and I believe there's only been one update since launch as well.
Yeah, I've only seen one, but
it was and to be honest with you, it's something that the update that I saw the details from Hideo on his Twitter was that it was the way in which when you have those longer sections, the music plays.
Okay, yeah.
And you know how you're talking when, I think it was in the first week we spoke about it, where the song name comes up and it stays there?
Yeah.
So it doesn't do that anymore.
Okay. I also found another issue with the music. Sometimes the music would only kick in when I was nearly at my destination, so it would only play for a short time. And I'm like, oh, that would have been nice to have that music for the majority of that trek, because it would have been nice and something in the background. But yeah, it kicks in, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm here now. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
I've had it a few times just before I've encountered BTs.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it'll start playing, and you sort of, you get that sense of having a bit of a relax. So you're in, like if you're in a car or something, and you start speeding it up, and then all of a sudden everything goes dark, and that little thing starts flashing. And
Yeah, the Audra deck. The Audra deck goes.
the Audra deck.
You're like, shit.
Yes. Oh, shocking.
He's like, I was making good time getting across this mountain. All of a sudden, I've got to start crawling really slowly, looking for ghosts to chop their nuts off with a pair of handcuffs.
Yes.
Anyway,
And
yeah, I'm impressed by it. If you didn't notice,
as am I. I'm starting to understand where a few people have said, and I think you were one of them as well. It kind of feels a little bit long in the tooth in parts.
oh, it was 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel at the point where I sort of go, yeah, okay, I feel like I'm nearly at the end, but then I have a look and I'm nowhere near it. Like I've only done 4 or 5 out of 15 chapters or something.
Remember Lamb Chop with the song that doesn't end? This is the game that doesn't end because it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started playing it not knowing what it was, and they'll continue playing it forever just because this is the game that doesn't end. Yeah, that's the...
Yeah, it just keeps going.
This is the episode for songs that just repeat themselves.
Yeah, that's right.
You got any questions on it, Gretch?
Not specifically. I mean, like I said, it's not really on my radar. This is not a game that I would run out and go play. I look at it and I go, I've played enough Kojima where I kind of just get annoyed with him because I love the games he makes, but there's just his weirdness. I just don't get, and I accept I don't get, and it's my problem, not his. And but it just annoys me because I'm just like, for me, there is a great game trapped inside a box of weirdness, and it annoys me.
Yeah, the funny thing about this is it's probably the most out there game that he's done in terms of subject matter, but I get it more than I got Metal Gear 5.
Metal Gear? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. That's a big call, but I agree with you. I had to watch a video to understand Metal Gear Solid. That whole series is confusing, considering that the 4th game in the series is actually the last game, or the 3rd game is the last game, and the 4th game is the second game. It's fucking confusing. But Death Stranding made sense. Compared to all of other Kojima's games that I've played, Death Stranding made the most sense and was the easiest to understand. But let me put this on record. While I do talk up Death Stranding to the nines, it's by far a perfect game because, there are its issues, majority of it being it massively overstaying its welcome and its long, drawn-out sequences that don't necessarily need to be there. But I do sing its praises where it deserves.
The positives far outweigh the negatives.
Just
100%.
But once again, I kind of suggest that that's kind of what you sign up to when you jump into a Kojima game, because once again, that's kind of a trope of his.
Well, I wasn't going to. I wasn't going to play the game. I wasn't going to until it was like $20. I wasn't going to bother. Sony graciously gave us a review code. I thought, all right, well, I've got the game. I may as well play it, and I'm pleasantly surprised. So I'm glad I did.
All right, Greg.
Yes.
Need for Speed.
Heat Studio.
What the hell is this about?
All right, so it's essentially a companion app for the game, but unlike most
but you don't have the game yet, as I'm meant to understand.
This is correct. I don't have the game. However, this doesn't stop you from playing this companion app. So this companion app is pretty much for one sole piece of the game, which is creating cars and liveries and
we've lost him.
Art, right? Essentially what it does is it gives you a bunch of cars in the game, and then you can select which car you want to start with, and then you can fit wheels, body kits, paints, liveries, and adjust everything you can to modify the look of the car. And in doing so, you unlock experience points, which unlocks more cars for you to play with. So that's what I've been doing. And then essentially what happens is you can save them and then flick them across to the game, and you can upload them onto your game when you start playing it, so that they're all ready to go. You don't have to sit there and do them there. However, I'm sure that I will probably get them and go, yeah, they're all really good, but create them. So yeah, that's what it is. It's pretty simple. It's free. It's fun. It's, if you enjoy making cars in those kinds of games, it's really good. It looks good, and it gives you a feel for what the game is going to be like visually. So, yeah.
I think more games should take this path. I quite like having a companion app that actually does something rather than just a pointless thing that's impossible to log into that doesn't work. Mass Effect Andromeda did it, where you could send your NPCs off on missions while you're not playing the game, and when you come back to the game on your console, you've got extra money because they've come back and done missions. And they, that whole concept of, there's a 70% chance that they'll complete the mission.
Yep.
So you can do risk reward, level them up as they level up. You can send them out on harder missions, which will bring back better rewards. I think more games should do that. I think that would be great. Imagine if, like, Call of Duty did it, and your bot would go into a make-believe match and would perform based on your skills, and so essentially mine would lose all the time. But and then you could get sort of unlocks and stuff like that when you're not actually playing the game. I reckon that would be a good idea.
As Skrull said, GTA had one for a map. For
GTA, yeah.
Yeah, for GTA. So you could actually look up stuff on the map, and it acted like a better mini map, or like a more detailed mini map than the one you had on the actual game itself.
Yeah, well, Fallout 4 did that as well. It was quite good. Yeah. You could actually put down waypoints on your phone.
Yeah,
and the waypoint would pop up into your game. That's a good companion app, different to what I'm talking about with away from the game. But that stuff's cool too. Companion apps are being ignored these days, but I would like them to put more effort into them because they're good. When they're good, they're good.
I think was it one of the Assassin's Creed games had a companion app like you're talking about, where you would do the naval trade like stock trading missions. Send them over to do all your trading and stuff like that. So you could do that all offline, and then when you came back, you'd have all the money from doing all the trading. Another good one that I've used is the one that used to be for Destiny, and you used to have so there was a couple. I had about 3 or 4 for Destiny.
You could adjust your loadouts and stuff on that, couldn't you?
So yeah, there was a loadouts one because you were stuck. You couldn't always. Once you're in a mission, you were stuck with whatever loadout you had, whereas this actually shifted stuff from your person to your vault to different characters. You could literally shuffle the deck however you liked and get stuff. So if there was one weapon that you'd forgotten, or your friends didn't want to wait for you to go to the tower, pick up stuff to start a raid, you just do it on your phone and it'll load up. The other one was there was a Xur finder, so it used to tell you where Xur was every week. And there was a whole bunch of them. Destiny had quite a few that worked for the game, and yeah, it was really good.
All right, Lucas, Fallen Order. You've given that a bit more time this week.
Yes. Now, a similar thing has happened with what happened with my talking about Death Stranding from one week to another. My opinion has changed. Again, last week I just played the first mission. That's all I'd played. I've played a lot more of it now, and it has gone from. Remember, I said it was like this is Uncharted. This is Uncharted Star Wars.
Yep.
Okay, I think I was a little bit kind in saying that. because I think maybe they put all of their polish into the first mission to get people sucked in.
Okay.
I'm backing off a little bit from this is Uncharted Star Wars, and I'm saying this is Tomb Raider Star Wars. It is very much Tomb Raider-esque with the gameplay. There's a lot of puzzles as well, which are very Tomb Raider, where you've got these balls. They're like massive boulders, and you've got to use the force push to roll them around and get them into certain areas for puzzles. It kind of felt a bit shit. But I went with it, and it was a puzzle that I worked out fairly easily and moved on. However, this is Tomb Raider, Dark Souls, Star Wars. All right. Now, I had heard that it was a bit Dark Souls-y, and it is. It is a little bit. Now, all you Dark Souls fanboys out there, I'm not saying that this is a Dark Souls clone or anything like that, but it has taken certain bits and pieces from Dark Souls and used it in the gameplay. So for those that play Dark Souls will understand that when you rest at a bonfire, you regain your health and get your health vials back for healing in battle. Now, they've done that in Star Wars, Fallen Order. So there are certain areas where you can rest, and resting will save your game. It will heal you, but it will also respawn all enemies in the level that you've already killed. So essentially that they've taken that from Souls-like games, and you can, spend your XP that you've picked up from killing enemies and upgrade your character, your Jedi. However, if you get killed by an enemy, to get that XP back that you've lost, because that's like Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, if you die, you'll drop all of your souls and you can go back and pick them up. However, in this one, all you need to do, which is making it a little bit friendlier, is you just need to inflict any kind of damage on the enemy that killed you, and you'll get your XP back.
Oh, okay.
So you've just got to hit them once, and you'll get your XP back, and then you can continue on. There's also the typical pathways, like in a Dark Souls game. So you'll go up to a door and it'll say this is locked from the other side, and then when you work your way around the long way, you can open that door, which then is the shortcut back to the start or back to that area. So that stuff's all very Dark Souls. But the rest of the game, it is essentially Tomb Raider in a Star Wars world. There's the Tomb Raider sliding down ice, which is like Tomb Raider does a lot, where she slides down muddy hills. It's basically lifted straight out of a Tomb Raider game. The story is good. The story is actually pretty cool, and there's a lot of little bits coming out that I'm not going to spoil, so don't freak out. But the story's quite strong. The characters are still very strong, like I said in the first week. But the game's rough. It's a beautiful game and it's fun, but it just doesn't have the polish. It doesn't live up to Dark Souls. It doesn't live up to Uncharted, and it doesn't live up to Tomb Raider. It's kind of like the little brother, the little sibling that just wants to be. But the Star Wars aspect gets it over the line, and I'm enjoying it still. So there you go. But yeah, I haven't finished it or anything like that. Probably not even halfway. But there looks like there's a lot of game. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do in there, a lot of hidden bits and pieces, a lot of leveling up. You can completely customize your lightsaber. So you can change the color of it. You can change like the material of it. You can change the appearance of the handle, the sheath, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I think Star Wars fans will probably get a kick out of it. Even though it's not perfection, it's still good enough to be a pretty cool game.
Oh, that's good. Awesome. Is it still holding your attention?
Yes, it is. Yeah, I played it quite a bit today, but it's a little bit of an investment because the levels aren't quick and linear. They take quite some time. The combat is tricky because it uses like a timing system for counters, parries. That's right. Yeah, doing the counters with parries and all that sort of stuff. So it can be a little bit tricky, but It's good, and it is. It's holding me. I will definitely keep playing it.
Oh, awesome! All right, Greg, take us into space with the Outer Worlds, mate.
Sure. Well, I've finally had a little bit of time, and once again, not a great deal, but a little bit of time to play a bit more of the Outer Worlds, and so I've been sort of chipping through it, and I've got all bar one of the companions unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
And I've sort of burnt through a bit of a few of the missions now. Look, I said this before, Obsidian know how to write stories. I swear to God, they're just so good at telling stories. Every side quest I've played so far feels meaty and actually has some sort of meaning. I don't really want to gush over this because I pretty much gushed over it before it even became a reality. But it's really holding up to my expectations of what I wanted from these guys. And I like playing through it. I've been looking at some of the decisions they've made while making this game, and how smart they've kind of been about this being their first outing by themselves for a while. And the level design, the world design, how they've broken it up into separate maps, these bite-sized chunks that help keep the game manageable. Because literally I've now played for a while now, and I've literally had one glitch the entire game. Mm-hmm. And it was almost a double take kind of thing. I went, did that really happen? Other than that, the game is played solidly without any sort of visual drops or anything like that, or, rubber banding or any kind of weird stuff that tends to happen in these types of games. But it also means that because they don't have any of those silly little unpolished bits popping out, it means that the bits that they're really good at, like the storytelling, are allowed to shine and really grab you and go, hey, look how good this shit is. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it.
How much longer does it feel like you've got? Like, is it a game that's 100-hour story, or?
No. So this is the other thing that. So I haven't finished it yet. But I have looked it up just to find out how long the story is. They're saying that the story itself is probably only about 15, 20 hours long. Mm-hmm. It's not a very long story, but the reason that they've sort of made it that way is because they really want to keep that replayability in the game. Like,
yeah, fair enough.
So once you've finished it, go back, play it again, try a completely different strategy. So, like, I'm really looking, like, I'm playing it how I play it this time, which is I'm trying to be a nice person. I'm trying to, like, I'm not, being the savior of the nation, but, like, I'm a helpful, friendly person. Next time, I'm playing through as a homicidal maniac. I'm just going to shoot everything. I don't care. Everything is going to die. I don't care who it is. There is literally not going to be. I'm going to commit mass genocide, like the universe has never seen. I don't want to have a crack at it. I want to see how far that's sustainable. So yeah,
how far you can push the envelope.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's one of those things I've thought about doing in Fallout, but in Fallout, it kind of in every Fallout that I've played, it kind of feels detrimental to do that. Like, it will just lock the game down for you to the point, especially in the ones Bethesda's made. You really can't take that tact with that game because it will literally lock you down to almost being unable to finish the game, in a sense. Or, or it gets to a point where that's the only thing you can do. Yeah. Whereas I feel this game, you can successfully,
you can evolve it.
You can evolve it. You can rise above that and just go, you know what? I can still kill everyone. I can still take the missions. I can still do them. Yeah, people probably won't trust me. It'll take me a bit more conversation skill to get people to open up to me, but who cares? They're going to get a bullet in their head anyway. So,
nice. Yep.
So I think it'd be interesting to see, and because also the other reason that I think I want to go back and play it again is while the skill tree has a lot of similarities to Fallout, and for obvious reasons, there's still enough difference where it feels foreign playing, and I feel like I'm learning. Like I'm trying to use my Fallout brain to create the character how I want it to go, but it doesn't seem to be working as smoothly as it would, say, in Fallout 2 or Fallout 3 or even New Vegas. It's not the same. So I'm still learning how to best leverage and utilize that skill tree. And it's something that I want to sink my teeth into. So,
and I think you used the perfect analogy of it there, how best to leverage it.
Totally.
Because everything that you pick, it's not just as simple as, giving yourself a boost in one area. You're effectively, speccing that, but it sort of exposes you, I suppose, in other areas. Where, like for instance, my character, it's because one of the things that stood out to me was the sarcasm. That's what I built on. That's what I wanted to see how far I could push that. So if I get in a gunfight, I'm useless. But I can talk my way out of most things so I don't get into a gunfight. So it kind of, you've got to leverage the pluses and minuses against each other to really make it work for you. Cool. If you had more time, would you be sinking more into that?
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it just always means that you're enjoying yourself. A game that I would, I'd kind of like to sink more time into it, but it's kind of been put on the shelf except for when mates are playing. For me is, of course, Call of Duty. It's
game I can't get enough of.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate when you're on or anyone else is on, I will jump in and play it nonstop. But at the moment, the one that I can't, and probably because I haven't finished it, is the one that's taking up most of my time is Death Stranding. But Call of Duty, I still haven't finished the campaign. This week, this past week, I'm actually going reasonably decent in the game itself. I think I was looking before, my kill-death ratio is at about 1.3, which is probably the best I've ever had. And I actually had a game the other night. I think it was while you and Radicus were playing around. I played around by myself, and I went 19-2.
Oh, no witnesses. Yeah, likely story.
I've got it. I've got the proof.
How big was that fish?
I have the proof. I will download it off the PlayStation. I took a picture.
Yeah, you also had Photoshop, buddy. Yeah, whatever.
Oh, Jesus. If I had Photoshop, it wouldn't be... If it was Photoshopped, it would not be 19-2. It'd be like 37-1.
Yeah, you're trying to make it believable.
When was this so-called match? I could look you up on the app.
Yeah. Whenever you were playing the other night. It was before you and I jumped on.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right, we'll keep talking and I'll look it up.
Look it up.
This is a shit app. It's going to take me a while.
It's a shit app, exactly, yeah. So how long you got?
If I don't find it, does that mean it doesn't exist?
No, never. Aimbot, yes.
Lag switch.
Wasn't against the bots. Leave me alone. It was good. I
like how he's lag switching against the bots.
It's gotten to the point now where it's fun, and those different game modes we've been trying, the like the search and destroy or the headquarters, they're really good game modes when you get a roll on. I suppose if you're the opposing team and we're going 200-0, I wouldn't like that, but yeah, some of those game modes were quite a bit of fun. But
they are good. They're actually some pretty cool modes. Actually, there's a new one that they've just added, Gun Game, which I'm very happy is back. And
I was going to ask you how that was going.
Yeah, no, it was good. I played it today for the first time, and it's good fun. They throw you into the night matches. The only problem is it's like a free for all. You can't party up and do it. You've got to do it on your own. So that's the one downfall to it. But it's cool. It's as good as it always has been, and it's annoying. I've never played the night maps before. Have you done a night map?
No, not yet.
Every single gun you get has got a laser sight. So if you're ADS, They can see your laser sight. So you've got to be careful when you're ADSing, is if you're sort of in a doorway, to ADS into the door so it's not coming out of the door so they can see the laser pointer coming out. So it's hard to sit there and wait for somebody or just don't ADS until the last minute.
Yep.
Snoogs got a 4.2 KD ratio and 21 kills in team deathmatch. He's telling the truth.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Sounds like Crucible back in the day.
Here's a match of Snoogs. 27 kills, 11 deaths.
Mm-hmm.
What the fucking hell?
See, I told you I was having a decent week.
You've hacked the app as well? Man.
Corner camping lag switch aimbotter. Yeah.
That's impressive. I was going to say, how did you get a 2.33 KDR? But, KDR. But you only got 7 kills, so you must have just camped.
No, that might have been one where I joined in at the end. Or I camped one or the other. Yeah, or I was.
No, good job. That's really good.
Yeah, so there's been a few games where, I don't know. It's just I'm finding my groove back, and the more that I'm playing, obviously, the more I'm knowing the maps and understanding where those campers are. So it's getting a bit of fun. I'm enjoying myself anyway.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, I think that's it for games, guys. Anything else?
Well, when do you want me to talk about Sonic?
Next.
You're
going to lead the bet off in the news, because this is newsworthy.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we might as well just jump straight into that, because it is very much newsworthy. You found some more Sonic statues from Sega World.
Well, I don't want to take the credit for finding them. It wasn't me, but...
Yous as in you and Brian from Synth Spacies, and you have kind of had a bit of a run on these statues.
Yeah, so what happened is Brian was contacted and got some sort of intel on a location for a new Sonic statue that's out in the wild. And he came over on Saturday and we went for a drive together and went and looked around and see if we could find them. And we found Sonic, but it wasn't just Sonic. There was more that we found along with it. And it was actually a little bit of funny stuff that came along with it. But it's all recorded. Made up a video. It's up on the Aussie Gamers Experience YouTube channel. You can go and check it out. And in my video is a link to Brian's video, because we did a collaboration where we both made a video for our respective channels. And it was actually surprising to see. Unfortunately, our plans didn't go 100% according, but we wanted to speak to the owner, because Brian actually wants to buy these statues, but no one was home at the time, because we didn't have any contact details for the people that own these statues. So we just sort of rocked up, but nobody was home at the time, except for the the hillbilly dude that was sitting on his front porch looking at us the whole time. But but we got some video footage of the statues. I'm going to leave it a bit of a mystery as to what the other ones were. But yeah, go and check out the video. It's pretty good. The statues are there. Brian's going to look into it a bit further to see if we can get some contact with the owner. But yeah, this is I don't know how Brian does it. He's just so prevalent in the Sega world that if anybody gets some intel on this stuff, they go straight to him and let him know, which is really cool. So
yes.
We've hunted it down and we've found some new. And these are in much better nick than those ones at the junkyard, because those ones are just near on death.
Indeed. But, on a side note as well. Being that it is Movember, how good is Brian's Mo?
Oh, it's very dirty and disgusting. I love it.
It's very dirty. I actually replied to him at one stage and said that he was one. What was he? He was an overcoat away from a watch list.
Well, I actually donated to his Movember.
Yeah. Yes.
And in my comment, I said, I'm making this donation on the proviso that you keep it and don't shave it off. To that, he offered a refund.
That's brilliant.
And I don't know if you saw it, but Brian actually tweeted on the way home from my place on Saturday, he actually rescued a turtle that was in the middle of the road.
Oh, and when that came up, right? Mm-hmm. So, and he's got that up. Could he have taken a picture any more country?
Oh, I know, the location.
We do not live that far out.
Yeah, I don't know where he was. Yeah, I don't know where he was, but he was in the middle of nowhere. But I love the comment on there about how they were saying that it looks like Mario has saved a Koopa. Because he's got the moustache saving a turtle. I thought that was great. That turtle would have stunk. The look of that thing, that would have smelt like dirty ass. Oh, because I've rescued my fair share of turtles off the road, and every time you're like, oh, it's a sweet little turtle. Oh, my God, that stinks.
Oh, that's a lovely little...
Well, actually, I rescued one on the way to your house. I think it was a Christmas party maybe last year.
Oh, yes.
I think I was, and I was telling you, and I think your wife actually said to me, oh, you should have brought it here. And I said there was no way that thing was going inside my car because it would have stunk it out. Yeah, they're just covered in moss. They basically live in just rotten swamps. So no, they're cute as a Ninja Turtle, but real ones,
they're all right if they're in a fish tank that's not covered in moss.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
All right, I have a little bit of something that I'm getting to try out this week.
Very good. So tell us all about it.
This evening, I'll be doing an unboxing, probably after this, and a review will be going up very shortly once I've had a bit of time to play with it. But I've got in front of me a Razer Jungle Cat.
The hell is that?
Oh, okay. So a little while ago, there's some information up on the website. Razer have released a kind of as an accessory for your mobile phone that effectively turns it into a Switch. So it's two controller ends to plug to hold. So you've got a it's kind of hard to describe once the video's up.
Sounds like you don't have a clue either.
No, I do. It's a portable dual-sided gaming controller for Android mobile phones.
Right.
Okay. So obviously it's one of the things that stands out for me is it supports the Razer phone, which is what I've got. So it's a dual-sided controller. So you've got picture your phone, put it into landscape mode, and then you've got a Joy-Con either side that's connected to it via a case. It then connects to the phone via Bluetooth, and you can play games on your mobile phone that require like your analog sticks or your D-pad or whatever, and you can play them without having to use the touchpad.
Right.
So things like Call of Duty, Fortnite, PUBG, all that sort of stuff,
now,
you can go on.
I'd be interested to see if it'll work with Call of Duty Mobile, because Call of Duty Mobile doesn't actually support controllers.
Doesn't it? Well, yes,
No.
I'll have to have a look at that. That's one that I will try, because I do play a bit of Call of Duty Mobile.
Yeah, because I tried connecting to Call of Duty Mobile with my PlayStation controller, no dice.
Didn't work?
No. It connects to the phone, no dramas, but the game does not recognise controller inputs.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll have a look, see how this works with it. It's got a picture on the front of it of Fortnite, so I'm assuming that it works with Fortnite at least, and probably PUBG. But some more information as I dig into it and have a look at it will go live on our YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for that. Stadia. Now I'm not for streaming game services, and the main reason that I'm not for streaming gaming services is because I'm Australian and our internet sucks. Let's be honest. So I don't see the value of it when there's our internet's not fast in itself to begin with, and then it's not consistent either.
Yeah, but look, I'm of the opinion currently that regardless of how fast your internet is, streaming video games like Project xCloud and Stadia will, and I'm talking about in the foreseeable future, so not forever, but just sort of around now, you're never going to have a better or at least on par experience than playing it rendered locally on an actual console. And I don't care. You'd have 1,000 megabits a second. I don't care. It won't be as good. It can't. Not at this stage, because it's just too much of a variable in the middle there. Stadia at the moment isn't even like it's upscaling everything. It claims all this 4K rubbish, but it's all upscaled 1080. Also, Stadia is you've got to buy the $130 US startup kit just to kick you off, which gives you the something gender controller.
The gender neutral controller.
Gender neutral controller.
What a fast that is.
That's a wank. That is. It's just a bloody controller.
It's a control. I didn't realize that the controllers that I've got had cocks. I didn't know.
I've got a couple of gashes in the bottle of mine that I plug shit into, but I don't know. On top of paying for it, you then have to pay a monthly subscription. And then on top of that subscription, you actually have to buy the games to play. That does give you a few free games to choose from, but generally you'll be buying at full retail price the games you're going to play on there for a subpar experience because, hey, the internet here is not going to be great. And I don't care where you are in the world. Not everywhere. Not even people are sort of a little bit consumed by the fact that America has great internet. It's just like Australia. Not everywhere. Yeah. Some places it's got ridiculously fast net, but some places it's just as rubbish as ours.
Yeah, and let's be honest. Stadia has released in the US, and there has been. I'm yet to see a positive response. Now, the main stuff that I've seen, because you know it is very hard to decipher between something legitimate and something clickbait. And the main stuff I've seen is around this gender neutral controller. And you know the internet has reacted. It's reacted very much the same vein that we have. No one understands why it's a gender neutral controller. If you I don't understand something to do with the color and the size that it is works with both larger male and smaller female and smaller male and larger female hands. There's all this weird shit that's on it, and
but that's neither here nor there. That's just a wank in public.
Yeah. But it was designed to be a publicity thing, and the internet has absolutely exploded with negativity towards it. And a lot of the negativity is actually directed at the fact that the service itself is failing. Yeah. So it's being priced like you said. You've got to buy the startup. You've got the subscription costs, all that sort of jazz, and it's classified as a premium service, but. Apparently things that are available on it now, you know, don't quote me because I've only seen, I haven't dug into it because I'm not interested in Stadia. But the things that are available are 2 and 3 years old only. There's no new product. Like you said, it's upscaled. Nothing's running in true 4K 60. Nothing's running in 4K 60, 30 frames at best. And that's only on like a 1000 megabit connection. So there's been a lot of problems with it, and at this stage you'd have to sort of think that the release has been a bit of a flop. Yeah. Would you agree?
Oh, look, absolutely. And I think, look, the major issue as well is marketing this thing as a competitor to gaming consoles and platforms like PC. I think like Project X Cloud and Stadia really do need to market themselves as a mobile solution, something to play high-end games on your mobile gaming systems that probably don't have the processing power of a home console, like your mobile phone or say your Switch or something like that. But if I'm at home, there is no way in the world I would prefer to use a streaming service than a console. Because if the internet's running a bit poor, I can't play for the night just because there's a bit of a spike or a dip in my internet? No way. It's not reliable enough. See, currently, if your internet shits itself, you just can't play online. If your internet shits yourself with Stadia or xCloud, you can't play. And why would you want something that's so volatile as your main go-to gaming rig? No, I don't think so. I'll take a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox, whatever, or my PC before I even think about having this as a gaming companion. And if you've got those things, then and xCloud is coming as well. I don't know how they're going to market that, but it's something to play when you're on the run. It's not something I'll play when I'm at home.
Yeah, indeed.
And the advantage that xCloud has is that it's going to continue off on what I'm already playing at home. It's not a completely different system. So, now, good luck to Stadia. I think they're dead in the water.
Yeah, I don't think it's, I don't like to say that it's not salvageable, but a lot of what people are saying is that it's not salvageable.
No, well, I think xCloud will destroy it based on it's already got a footprint. Xbox is a very strong competitor in the market that is looking to get only stronger. I can't imagine Stadia competing with that because it seems like they're sort of essentially the same sort of thing, but Xbox is behind xCloud, so I can't imagine that not destroying any other competitors.
All right. Well, the last bit of news this week is the Game Awards have released all of their nominees for the 2019 Game of the Year. And there's been a lot of controversy around it. A lot of people are not happy with the games that have been put up. Me personally, it's not the only Game Awards that are done. It's just probably the one that's got the biggest presence at the moment. So I wouldn't mind getting your boys' thoughts. Game of the Year. Okay, so we've got Control from Remedy and 505 Games. Death Stranding. Death Stranding from Kojima Productions and Sony International. Resident Evil 2, the remake from Capcom. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice from Software and Activision. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from, Sora, Bandai Namco and Nintendo. And The Outer Worlds from Obsidian and Private Division. So these are the top 6. And so there's a few that are not noted in there. A lot of people are claiming it as the Sony Awards or the PlayStation Awards. But what do you so far think?
Well, I don't know. I'm a little bit on the spot here. I can't think of other games, but I feel like there's a lot missing that probably should be there.
Well, probably one of the biggest ones that a lot of people are talking about are Gears of War. Gears of War is not in that Game of the Year contention, but if you have a look at these top 6, so Control, Death Stranding, Sekiro, and Outer Worlds, they're all new IPs.
Yeah.
Then you've got Super Smash Brothers, which is an ongoing behemoth of a game. That's any time that comes out, it's going to sell well. And then you've got Resident Evil 2, which is an old favourite remade.
But how does this work? Were there votes for this? Because I didn't vote.
Yeah.
I know that much.
So you can go on and vote now. It's thegameawards.com. I think it's something like 80 different publications. So whether it be, Kotaku, IGN, all those sorts of people from all around the world, they register to vote throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, the top 5 or 6 out of each category are put forward. So, throughout the year, people are giving, their vote on where they think this game would sit. And then, come at the end of the year, this is how it's all put together. And then it goes to public. So it's kind of media beforehand, public afterwards. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then you've got the big night to nights.
Yeah, the only thing that I don't like is when a remaster gets nominated for Game of the Year. Look, that game had its chance when it was released. Although it has been prettied up and it's a fantastic game, I don't believe that remasters like Resident Evil 2 have a place in Game of the Year. I don't like that.
Yeah, not when you've got some good contenders up to begin with. Like, what else have we got? I'm just looking through the list. Like, Ace Combat 7 came out. Like, that was amazing. Well,
you've got Gears of War. You've got A Plague Tale was a great game. Yeah. What's some of the other ones? Legend of Zelda's Awakening, Borderlands. There's a few around.
You take other games that have been Game of the Year previously. How fair is that to the people making games this year if they just remaster a game every year and it's the best? it's the best game that's ever been played, and it comes out again. You're like, what? How does that, like that won 5 years ago, and now it's just automatically going to be brought up because it's back again and it is a great game? I don't think I think there should be a separate.
No.
There should be a separate category for remasters, but I don't think they should be in contention for Game of the Year, as in the big one. But at the end of the day, they make the rules, I don't. And I'll have my own Game of the Year countdown for our last show. So I'll pick what I want in that one.
Yeah, well, there's a few other ones. So action games, the usuals are sort of there. You've got Call of Duty, Devil May Cry's in there, Gears is in there, Metro is in there, Borderlands, Link, of course. Where's the ones that I've glad to see, I should say. I'm just trying to find it again. One of the indie games of the year. So family games of the year, you got Luigi's Mansion's in there. Fresh indie game. Can you guess what's at least in that list and what I think's a front runner to win that one? Untitled Goose Game. There we go.
Oh, yes. That's a bloody good game.
That's in there. So it's from what I can see, that's only got the one. It's got two. So independent game, it's in there as well. And I'm not going to keep scrolling through all that because there's a lot in there.
What indie game is?
No, there's like fresh indie game. I think it's sponsored by Subway or something, and then just an independent game.
Oh, got you.
Level as well. So the voting's now available. Beginning of December, there's a big showcase that's broadcast everywhere and a big night of it. So that's thegameawards.com. Get over and have a look.
Cool.
See how it goes.
Well, our Game of the Year show will be coming up soon. We'll have to work out when that's happening and announce it very soon, but we're going to have our picks, and I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be an interesting show.
I'm already putting my list together and chopping and changing and moving things around and seeing what goes where.
As am I, but I think I'm pretty well set now because I don't think there's anything else big that I'll be playing for the rest of the year, but who knows?
Beautiful. All right. Any other news items popped in you guys' heads? Or can we finish it up? All right. Let's finish it up. Jump into some last words. I've got a shout out. Shout out from over on Twitter to Hugster. Hugster666 sent me a message during the week, and I just thought it was brilliant. So I was sort of out of nowhere, just sent us a message saying that really enjoys the podcast and the content that we provide. It was fantastic. It was actually I got it when I was having a really shitty day at work, and it just sort of it made my day. Really, it was nice to hear. So thank you very much, and a shout out for you, Hugster. Thank you. Also, in listening in live, the bunch of lunatics are always there. Skrill, Radicus, Kaz are still floating around at the moment. Az dropped in for a little while. Martikins was here as well. Thank you as always, guys. Hope you've had fun. You boys got any shout-outs or other last words?
No. I think I've said my piece.
As have I.
Oh, right. Radicus. I'll give you a shout-out, Radicus, because he and I were a team to be reckoned with on Call of Duty the other night, playing 2v2. He was outstanding. I've never seen Radicus play so well. Good job, buddy. Be keen to play.
He does well on the 2v2s.
Oh, he was tops.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I did quite well too, but we won like 7 matches in a row. We destroyed them. I'll pay you later. You can pay me with performance like that, buddy. It was great.
Good stuff. All right. Well, while you people are listening in, thank you very much. Don't forget to head on over to Twitch for Snoogavision. Go and say g'day. I haven't been streaming this last week because it has just been a shitful week, but you get that. So Snoogavision for me, Aussie Gamers TV for Lucas, and the Age XP on Mixer. Also, Grejio XPL on Instagram. Greg, have you been putting puppy pictures up?
I haven't put any puppy pictures up yet, no.
Oh, my goodness. I've been telling
mainly because trying to get a photo of her is a pain in the ass because she's too busy trying to chew on me. But
well, she does that.
Yeah, but I did have one. I put it up on Discord of the I think I took it when you came over to see her. The one with the head cocked to the side going, I'm cute. So,
yeah, little shit. Yep.
Yeah. She knows how to pose.
Oh, she knows how to pose. And there's something with the animals at your house.
Yeah.
I walk up to the door and there's the cat sitting outside. It's not supposed to be outside.
No.
She's just been a turd and got out somehow.
Yep.
And then decides to get up and say, come on, pick me up then. Yeah.
Yep, she does that.
All right. Well, thank you very much to everyone that has listened to the show, and especially those that are still listening this far along. A super special thanks to all of our live listeners again. You've been chatting away and interacting. Thank you very much as always. Greg, Lucas, thank you for joining me, guys.
No worries. Pleasure.
To all of our listeners, feel free to continue any of the topics that we've discussed on this show over in our Discord channel. If you would like to get in touch with us directly, you can shoot us an email at info@theagexp.com. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit up our website, www.theagexp.com. Links, as always, are in the podcast show notes and description. That's all from me. As always, I have been Snoogs.
I've been Lucas.
And I have been Grejio.
See us.
Bye-bye. Righto, that's the end of the show. Does anybody listen to the show this far along? I don't know, but if you do, join our exclusive Discord club known as the Agents of Age. Just join our Discord channel using the link in the show description and comment the phrase, I came here to party, and you will gain Agent of Age status. Subscribe to this podcast using the links to the things in the show description notes, and if you are listening, know this, we love you. See you next time on the official podcast of the Aussie Gamers Experience.